Hi there, this is Chris Callett with MuseGrid.com. We're going to show you how to build these icons that are easy to change in color. So they're PNG files, and we're going to show you how to produce them so that you can use and build icons for your own designs, that you can change the theming color of them easily within Muse without using Photoshop, or you can put these together and into packages to distribute on Muse Exchange. So let's get started on this. First off, we're going to start with Photoshop, and we have a graphic here. It's a flat icon, but we've split it into its individual parts. So this is a pencil icon, and we can see how the individual parts are put together. Now we do this because we need these individual parts to be able to recolor them. So flat icons work very well because they usually have just a single color to each section. We've then given these colors, these sections, a name using the .png suffix, and then we're using the file generate image assets in Photoshop to generate the individual sections. Now once we've done that, if we go over to Muse, we can see, let's just switch these effects off. This is the next part of what we're going to be doing. I'll just switch these off. You can see already how we're achieving this process. So we have our individual parts here, the PNG files that we brought in from Photoshop, and we've placed them on the page here. Now if we go to each individual part, we can add effects, but before we're going to do that, we're going to go to our swatches panel, and we're going to create 4 new colors. And notice that they're called color 1, color 2, color 3 and color 4. So these are the colors that will create the individual colors for the different parts. Now you can cut and change these as much as you like, but if we right click on them and click on swatch options, we can see that we have the color chosen here, and we have given it a name here. If you want to clear your palette of all the different colors, you can right click and click on delete all unused before you start this process, and that will just leave you with the grey, white and black, and then you can go to right click in the white area here, click new color swatch and create your 4 new colors. I find that a lot easier when I'm starting out, so that I've got a nice clean palette of colors to work with. Much like if we're a painter, we'd want a nice white palette before we start. So once we have our named colors, we are ready to apply the effects. Now just to explain why we use named colors, if we use named colors, it means that we can take these items into another file where the named colors are there, but maybe the color itself is changed. So using the right click swatch options, we could maybe change this to a blue, and you can see that's already updated this graphic here, but let's undo that. So we can, by having a named color, we can change the color without having to apply a new color, which would be a bit tedious if we had lots of these elements. Now you can see that this hasn't updated since I changed it back, so I'm just going to close that page down and reopen it again to get it to refresh those colors. So now we have our colored palette. Oh, the other thing with named colors is, of course, we can use these throughout a design, and you'll see them on the MuseGrid. Many MuseGrid templates we used these named colors, and that allows you to modify the colors across the entire website by just right clicking and using the swatch options to change the colors. So wherever one of these named colors is used in the site will be updated, and that's how we create our theming. So let's go to our first section here. We'll go to our effects panel, and we're going to switch the glow on. Now we've chosen color 3 for this. So we've set the opacity to 100, so it's a full block color. We've set our blur to 100. We can set that to a maximum of 250, which is probably a good idea, depending on the size of the graphic. So that's setting the blur. If we drop that down to, let's say, 10, you can see that the blur is only filling in the edges, so that's why we set it to 250 so that it fills the whole thing. And we've set it to inner glow because obviously if it was outer glow we get this outer ring and we want it to fill in, and that's how the colour changes. We can see that there. So we've done the same with these parts as well. So I'm just going to apply those effects. We've already applied those. I'm just going to switch them. I'm going to set them to 250 just to be consistent. And we can see now that we have all of our parts that match here with the colour effects on them. Now next we're going to put all those parts together. So I'm going to use my align tools because these are all already set up. Let's align these together, and we have all of our parts together now, and we can select them all and group, or go to object and group. So we now have an icon that we can use, and you can see it's identical to this one here, so that's exactly how we did it. And we can copy and paste that, or even better, let's add it to our new library so that we can reuse it. Now I've already added this, so I'm actually going to delete this and start again. So how do I add it to the library? Well, first of all, I need a library folder, so I'm going to create a new library folder and call it icons. And then I'm going to select that icon, and I'm going to click the add selected item. So that's now added, and I'm going to call that pencil icon, and you can see that it's created a little grab there of the image, so we can see exactly what it is. And now if I delete these items off the page, they're still in the library, so I can just drag them onto the page, which is makes it much easier to transport these items from one design to the other, because they're always in the library. But you could also add lots of these icons into an icon folder for use on different projects, or you could click here, and I'm going to select that folder, and I'm going to click on the export selected items, and then let's stick those on the desktop here, call it icons, and that creates now a MuseLib file. Let me just move everything out the way of my screen here so we can see it. So this now creates a MuseLib file which you can upload to the Adobe Music Exchange, and you can allow other people to have your icon sets, which would be very nice. So going back to our item here, let's remove it, or we can leave it there. Let's jump into another page that I've already created, and you can see here that I've still got the same color swatches, but I've changed their names, and we can see the pencil icon here. Now, have I just gone in and changed those colors? Well, no. What I've done is change the swatches, but notice how now, I don't know what's happening there. Notice how our pencil icon now is still green, so that's the colors that we set it up, but as I drag it onto the page, it automatically takes on the altered color swatches. So now, because we've got these in this Muse file, we've got these color swatches and they're the same names but different colors, when we drag the icon we created onto the page, it automatically inherits the colors from this page rather than the colors that it was originally created from. So it's very easy then to see how we can use these multi-layered icons to create themes that can be easily altered. So that's how you create those icons. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks for watching.